Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing you set 4 of the MSL semifinals between Zero and Great. Great is currently up 2-1 on my man Zero from Moonjin Stars, so Zero has his work cut out for him if he wants to make a finals appearance. Great for Samsung Khan, hoping to put another Khan player into a finals following Stork's appearance in the OSL. Now, Great is going to have a chance here to close out the series and notch his spot in the finals of this PD Pop MSL. Here we go. What map is this? This is going to be on Benzene, so pretty standard stuff. It's only 2-player maps, so both players know where each other are. The Overlords are not going to be going the wrong direction, that's for sure. And should be exciting. It's going to be really hard to get any sort of a scouting advantage. The rush distance on this map is actually quite long. Think kind of match point. It's very match pointish in the length of the rush distance, and think even more of match point if you don't have those little mini bridges right outside your natural to try and cut the map. It's pretty long in terms of map distance, and yeah, I think both of these guys are going to not be 9 pooling, probably not be seeing a 999 build or anything like that. I think we're going to see either 12 hatch, 12 pool, some later builds overall. Could see an overpool. That would be about the earliest pool I would expect, just because of the nature of the map. We'll see if either of them wants to prove me wrong and try and play that metagame and say, hey, you know what, even with the rush distances, 9 pool is just so much, can beat 12 hatch so well that I'm going to try it. I'm going to try going 9 pool. Looks like we've got an Overlord from Great, who is in the bottom left in purple, and from Zero in the top right we have an Overlord as well, so we'll see if either player below that I'm building doesn't look like... Nope, it doesn't look like an overpool from either player, so this looks like it's going to be dual 12 hatch. Looks like we're going to have mirror builds, mirror economic builds, and we'll probably have a big huge Zergling fight, and go from there, and see who's going to be the aggressor and such. Remember that the winner of this series, possibly the winner of this game, should Great take the victory, will go on to meet the winner of the semifinal between Jaedong and Hydra, which was played a few days after this, but was just very, very recently uploaded. So I have those downloaded, and if I can get some time today before I head out of town, I will try and cast those. Hopefully I will find some time. We will see. I really do want to cast Jaedong versus Hydra, just because Jaedong, obviously, the reigning king, the true king of Zerg, and Hydra has just been so hot lately, and I have to say I jumped on the Hydra bandwagon pretty hardcore recently, and I've definitely become a fan of his. I think it was Hydra versus SAC or C, a couple of those ZVTs, and just some games that Hydra's playing very, very cool stylistically that I became a fan. So I will definitely be watching that series, if not casting it shortly later today, possibly tonight, something like that. We got both the 12 hatches, we got the pawning pools, basically standard stuff coming up from the 12 hatch build. Nothing untoward from either of these players at the moment, as you would expect from 12 hatch. It's not often that at the beginning of a game in a ZVZ you don't really have anything to talk about in the game, but when both players go 12 hatch and we don't even have spawning pools up yet, that's kind of what's going to happen. And Great looking to use all 3 of his eggs on Zerglings, and so is Zero, so neither player going to try and sneak any extra bonus drones in. At least it doesn't look like it. We will see, but it doesn't look like either player trying to sneak any drones in, and that is a huge part of ZVZ. Watch these eggs, and actually that is 3 drones from Zero, so he did manage from Zero, so he did manage to sneak some drones in. It looks like Great did as well. Looks like both of them. Well, Great only snuck in 2. It looks like he built 2 Zerglings, so Zero snuck in 1 extra drone there, and in ZVZ every little bit counts. Both of them do have their layers going, so Zero getting a little bit of a meta, I don't even know what to call it, a luck, almost a kind of guesswork mini advantage there. Have some Zerglings for Great streaming across the map. Gonna try and put some pressure on Zero, see if he can pressure Zero into maybe losing a drone or 2, since he did kind of cheat a couple in there. We will see. Probably won't be too successful, but you never know. You never know. And the Zerglings have arrived here. Looks like they maybe will pick up a drone. No, not quite able to. What is Zero doing? Why isn't he defending this drone better? What is he doing? that was weird. His Zerglings took forever to really get engaged there, and should not have lost that drone, but he does lose the drone. Does kill two Zerglings to counter it, but basically, Great has evened up the drone count at least, but not too significant there. In this game, we do have Spires coming up probably for both of them at essentially the exact same time. Completely mirror builds. It's basically just going to come purely down to tactics. Who decides to cut a couple Zerglings and get a couple more drones? Who decide when they get their second gas? How many Mutalisks they get as opposed to Scourge? All these kinds of things are really going to be the defining moment. Or what's going to define this game slowly but surely, little bits and pieces. Looks like both players kind of looking around for maybe a hidden hatch or maybe trying to hide Zerglings. Kind of interesting. You don't see that too often where players are scattering Zerglings around trying to find things. It's just not something you see very often, but yeah, it looks like both of them are kind of suspicious of the other. Both players do have a sneaky streak to them, so that would be explain why. And Zero almost getting a little pincer movement there with his Zerglings. If he just waited a moment longer with his second batch of Zerglings that were coming in from the back, that could have been extremely effective. Unfortunately, coming in a little bit too early. Spires have completed for both players, and we will wait to see the composition of these first air eggs. How many Mutalisks and how many Scourge will each player produce? That's really the question here. And a couple Zerglings for Great, almost sneaking in. Some Zerglings for Zero did have... were able to cut them off and then stopped chasing them for some reason. Some weird stuff going on from Zero. Not the best control here in terms of everything. And Zero losing the Zergling battle here at the natural expansion as well. So this game could end right here with the Zerglings. Some Mutalisks for Zero have popped, and they will be able to clean this up, but how much damage will these Zerglings do? There's still a lot of them left. Could do a lot of damage. We have seen several drones go down. It looks like probably another one will go down, and another couple more looks like they went down. Looks like maybe 2 more drones went down. So, Zero is able to clean this up, but Great did get some good damage there, and that's really going to play into Great's hands here. Mutalisk counts are about even. It looks like neither player really produced any Scourge there to start with, but yeah, not a finishing move, but definitely Zero is very far behind. You can see that he only has 3 miners on minerals, whereas as opposed to 6 miners on gas overall. And on the other side, we have, looks like 8 miners on minerals and 6 on gas. So definitely has a 5 drone advantage. I think Zero did manage to reproduce 1, so there's still a 4 drone advantage-ish, somewhere around there. And a couple of Scourge do land for Zero. That will help. But now he's got a micro against the full horde of Great's Air Force, and doing a pretty good job of microing against the Scourge, but the Mutalisks are landing a lot of shots, and that's going to pose a problem. And there comes a Scourge for Great that does land, and this is just a crazy little battle that's going on here, and Zero, is he going to get that? Oh, man. And this was a lot of hits by random, by Mutalisks on, or by Great on Zero's Mutalisks, but this battle is very, very close. Here comes some more Scourge from both sides, and this is very close. It looks to me that Great is up maybe 1 or 2 Mutalisks. It looks very close, but I think Great is up a couple. And with his additional miners on minerals, he's really going to be able to reproduce Mutalisks a little bit safer and a little bit at a better rate, simply, than Great will. More than Zero will, sorry, until Zero can repopulate his, what the heck is Great doing? Taking a couple Scourges there to the face. Oh my god, come on Zero, you should have killed that Mutalisk. And just sloppy play here from Zero in this game. Doesn't look like he's really got a hold of his nerves, maybe getting a little nervous just because he's down 2 games to 1, and this is pressure time, and we've seen it over and over again where Zero struggled being the ace for Moonjin Stars. He was doing alright for a while where he was kind of 50-50 in ace matches, but then he sort of dovetailed it, and he's really struggling in some of these higher profile end of series big time matches. And I'm really seeing that again here in this game, kind of not having the best Zergling control, not chasing those Zerglings back, losing that drone at the beginning of the game. And his Mutalisks micro has been more or less okay, but just not the best control over other parts of his game, and actually does get a Scourge to land on a Mutalisk and knocks it out for Great. So there's something for Zero to get a little bit of a kill on, and Great just seems to be content with just building up his Mutaforces right now, and I have a sneaky suspicion that he might be waiting for an air upgrade of some form, either attack or armor, probably armor. Usually players go for armor because it's just so much more powerful, especially in Muta fights, so much more important. But we will see. And Drake doing a good job of microing against Mutalisk there, and now some Zerglings for Great have forced Mutalisk from Zero back, and now Great comes in with the Mutalisk at the natural expansion, trying to pick off some drones, not able to do so quite yet, but does get a couple on the fallback to the main, and yeah, it's Great just getting little wins here and there, and they are just absolutely piling up, and Zero is just falling behind here, it seems, over and over again. He's not producing any Zerglings, just doesn't have the drones and the mineral count to really reproduce everything that he wants at the same level as Great is. He's been forced to use several eggs on drones to try and catch up economically, and that's really been holding him back overall. He's trying to play defensively here, but not having the best success. He does have quite a few Scourge to go along with his Mutalisk group. And, oh, almost thought that those Scourge for Zero were going to land on Great, but Great able to maneuver out at the last moment. Great looks like he's coming in for another attack. Zero trying to figure out what angle Great is going to take. He's got those Scourge taking some very different angles, and Great's going to pick off another Overlord and a couple more Scourges for free. And, yeah, Zero just not having the best control over and over again. I mean, he's losing all these... Actually, doesn't land a Scourge there, but he's lost a lot of Scourge for not really able to do too much with them overall. And here comes another engagement. Great is pushing in farther and farther into Zero's natural expansion, and will get the victory here. It's very, very close on the meter count, and it looks like Great has decided to pull back until he can get some more Scourge involved, as he saw Zero was getting his own Scourge into play, so he doesn't want to engage quite then. But here comes Great again, going to come in for another fight, picks off some Scourge from Zero, and looks like we got some Scourge landing on both sides. Oh, it looks like Zero actually landed several Scourge there. Great not microing the best there, but Great able to pick off 3 more drones, and these drone kills are just going to add up. They just have to add up over time, and I think Zero may be forced to engage here. He can't just afford to sit here and run away constantly. He needs to pick off that last Scourge and then just fight. Will he be able to get away with the victory? I don't think so. I think Great just has more Mutalisk. There's GG from Zero. So Great is going to win this game, win the series, and he is going to the MSL Finals here in 2011. He's going to play the winner of Jaedong versus Hydra. That will be the next series. Hopefully I can get that done soon enough. But Great with a huge victory. Samson Khan is going to be represented once again in the finals of a Star League this season, and I'm sure that Samson Khan fan and even just Stork fans even, I think, overall are going to be rooting for Great no matter who he plays, unless he's playing Jaedong, who has such a huge fan base that obviously Jaedong fans will overpower any sort of Samson Khan allegiance. But I think Great will have a huge backing from Stork and of course the Khan supporters into the finals. So he's got to be flying right now, signing those shirts, having a great time. And Zero, I don't want to see. I don't like. It's gotten to the point where I don't even want to see Zero after he loses, because he just looks so depressed. He truly looks like he's just like about to cry every single time he loses a big game, and it almost makes me sad to watch. And I'm glad that they haven't switched over to his face in a while. But yeah, hopefully, I think Zero needs like some life coach or some veteran presence to really tell him how to handle this. Woongjin Stars doesn't really have any big veteran names on the roster, really, really Free, Sulky. None of these guys are big veterans. No former Star League winners. I don't think they have any former Star League winners, so not a whole lot of veteran leadership there in Woongjin Stars, and I think they maybe could use some, particularly for Zero. But we'll see how Woongjin Stars performs later. But Great winning for Samson Khan, advancing to the finals to play the winner of Jaedong versus Hydra. Should be an entertaining series next week, and hopefully I'll be able to cast that as well, try and get someone else, maybe dual or triple with me, and yeah, I'll take care of that next week. See you guys then.